We need to tell stories, not put people into this terrible information overload system that you've been living through, right? Mystery, sensuality, and intimacy. Okay, the second idea, revel in ideas. We live in the age of the ideas. Be daring, be different, be impractical. Not very Swiss, is it? Be anything that will assert integrity of purpose and imaginative vision against the play it safe as the creatures of the commonplace, the slaves of the ordinary. The slaves of the ordinary. Look at the British political system if you want to see the ordinary in action. Okay? We live in the age of the idea. We've gone through the information age. We've gone through the age of knowledge. You're leaving here with these fancy hats and fancy gowns with a big tick against knowledge, right? Boom, you've done that. Terrific. That's a table stake. You've got a great foundation. You're privileged. You're ahead of the competition. Fantastic. You know how to access information. In fact, you're drowning in the stuff. What will make you win and success now is your ability to generate ideas. Most institutions are designed to kill ideas at birth. Not invented here, it'll never work, it's too much money, we're in the middle of a recession, what do you think you are, we've never done it, etc., 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 etc. But it is ideas that will take us forward. It is ideas and creativity that will move us into the next step. It's also the critical thing that you've got to get into your heads out here is there are going to be winners and losers. In the past 10 years, sort of Mickey Mouse, the Seven Dwarfs, all could have won, right? Because we were in a growth economy. Many companies were run by Mickey Mouse and the Seven Dwarfs. And so you really couldn't see it. Everybody thought they were very, real hot, baby, because they're in a growth economy. It isn't like that now. There's going to be winners and losers. Losing is really the pits. It's a really bad idea. Okay, you haven't invested all this time here to lose, so get out of there with a winning mindset. Winning means creating jobs. Winning means unleashing innovation. And winning does mean, exactly as Rolf spoke about, creating a sustainable environment. You know who Al Gore is? Yeah, of course you know who Al Gore is, right? I spoke with Al Gore in Singapore about a year and a half ago. Al Gore, the only guy to get a Nobel Prize for doing PowerPoint. This guy is the most boring guy I've ever listened to, okay? And he's trying to frighten us into sustainability, and that is not the answer. The answer is, as Rolf talked about today, that sustainability is about economic growth, it's about social growth, it's about cultural growth, it's about environmental growth, but it's got to be driven from a base of economic strength, and it isn't a threat, it isn't fearsome, it isn't a warning, it's about, man, this is the only way to progress and to build a future. Do not go to work for any organization that truly does not act in a sustainable way, because they are doomed. They are doomed. People have now understood that environmental, economic, social, and cultural sustainability are sine qua non. So we've talked about that moving from green. We call it true blue. Rolf talked about it being truthful. And for us, it's true blue. What does true blue mean? Green, which is what Gore is all about, demands what's to be done. Blue says, what can I do? We can't wait for corporates. We can't wait for governments. You've got to take personal responsibility. You can make a mammoth difference in every choice you make in sustainability. Every one of you can do something. We have a program called DOT, Do One Thing. Do one thing, wherever that is, whether it's recycling, whether it's environmental, whether it's something to do with job creation, whether it's something to do with health, whether it's something to do with well-being, you can do something. Green's about limits. Blue's about possibilities. It's an amazing thing. This should not be the domain of the governance people or the corporate PR people. This should be the responsibility of the CEO and everybody in the company, because there are limitless possibilities now in this sustainability area. Green's about obligations. Blue's about opportunity, about making money, about reducing cost, not about compliance. Green's about the planet. Blue's about the people who live on the planet. I only care about the planet in that it affects the people who live there. So position yourselves in this range. In the area of winning, Vince Lombardi talks a lot about that. Winning's not a sometime thing. It's an all-the-time thing. You don't win once in a while. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. And you do them right when no one's looking. Winning's a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing, right? And if any of you support the England soccer team, in my case, I support Manchester City, so you'll know what I mean by that. So, and to go out there and win today, it is going to be all about winning ugly, right? Now, Federer might prove us all wrong on Sunday and win beautifully, and Barcelona just won the Champions League beautifully. But generally speaking out there, it is going to be ugly. All the news hitting you is going to be bad news. Yes, we have a credit crisis. Frankly, pretty easy to fix, although you wouldn't think so by looking at what some of the numpties in government are doing about it. But it isn't that hard to fix. But what comes from there is the confidence crisis, which is much tougher. And following that, of course, is inevitable social crisis. Because with 50 million people out of jobs, you're going to see lack of self-esteem. You're going to see more dependence on alcohol, more dependence on drugs. You're going to see more violence, in-home domestic violence. You're going to see more violence against kids. So you're going to see these social crises. No government at the moment is yet prepared to deal with because they're still lurching actually, around the credit crisis. So it's going to be sort of ugly for the next period of time. In that, to win in there, what you've got to do is to really cut out the frills, cut out the nice to-dos. Don't look at the world as it was, as it used to be, or as you'd like it to be. You've got to look at the world as it is today. It is never going to go back to those days because now we're going to have to start paying for what we consume, which I know for you is a hell of a new kind of scary thought. Me too. We've got to change all of you from being farmers to becoming hunters. All right, you've got to get out there. You've got to search, seek, find, kill, and eat.